So I don't like because your dad got up and then she fell in here. It was kind of convenient falling place. What's the next generation of computer?
Alright, we're going to film Uncle Pete coming back.
What you got?
Seriously? What is it? Like,
I have no idea how this is going to turn out, but I'll shake me.
oh, yeah, right. Bouncing up and down.
Trevor, say something. You're on TV.
Prove it.
I used to get that all.
Yeah. You have to go back.
That's why you're wearing safety glasses. There you go, then you can go to somebody.
I didn't have it. Alright, take a view from the outside of your window. This is our view on the train.
Peace and all that stuff,
So now what are you doing over there?
I'm videoing.
Collecting evidence.
Yeah, want me to walk back? You want to really?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get it going back.
Andrea, go.
Yeah, really fast.
No, I have to wait.
No, we can't dump them. We need help.
So you don't feel
Time out. How old are they? Okay, now you go back. Yeah. We have the sprinklers. If I miss them, they're indoor cats. What? Sprinklers.
Oh,
You can kind of see the windows.
oh, I didn't see that. It won't work through the window.
Yeah, your toes still? No. See your chocolate milk? When I was done with the hearing aids behind me, he went to the bathroom, and I see him coming back, and here he is putting his teeth in. He's walking down. No, this old man behind me, downstairs.
Oh, okay.
He's dead. They have periods, both of them.
Somebody doing it?
He's older than your dad.
Having trouble focusing on it.
Well, I'm having trouble focusing my eyes, so we're all good then.
I've seen in the movies where they all probably drink while they're taking a hot bath. I don't recommend that. Oh my God, I passed out.
So he takes shows the blood test, comes back in the room and says, you've got a diabetic brain. And I'm like,
Yeah, it's a real pain. Your blood is going.
I know you know well enough by now. Not much surprises you.
There's only do two getting to know each other.
Also, you know his sister so well. She is great.
being outside, every once in a while we'll go out and find out.
Something special.
No, I can't. I just got pretty purple flowers, that's why I planted them. It smells like cats.
Sorry, silly. Horses.
kisses, Uncle Rick. Together forever. Together forever.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That was like a couple hours.
Watch the Hallmark commercials at Christmas. There's one that was for signing. Yeah. When they grow is at the school,
Make your helicopter fly.
I used to care from the day I got him. He wears his tail over his back. He'll lay it flat on his back.
That's weird. You don't see that very often.
Sugar beaters. Chinook.
like basic things. Like I know this is coffee. This is thank you.
We're in Chinook. Is that how you say it?
Welcome.
Chinook.
I'm not nice for
Lucky Lily's Lounge.
Bigger district. Yeah. Thank you. I didn't teach us. That's like a basic thing. It has this. What about you?
If you do, we do have a stamp, Amtrak filter stamp. We just transport and bring them on up here. Also, we have a limited number of Montana maps that we'll hand out. We ask that you share them with your partners or friends that you're shooting with.
They're passing them out?
Oh, did he say he passed them out?
See, you're listening carefully. The rest of us just hear map and we were like,
I know.
He said we're gonna pass them out. We have limited amounts for each share.
okay.
Maybe like one per table.
Okay.
Can we all share here?
We can all share.
Do you really need to get that close to me? I have not showered.
Your eyes aren't dirty.
You're fine, and I can't go any further back. So this is about it.
Okay, go.
If we raise our hand, maybe he'll bring it.
Yeah.
He's gonna come back, folks. Don't worry.
He's gonna get rid of the map. We have a map to look at.
So we know what to look for. Yeah.
Oh, there's Sue.
You guys are more than welcome to this seat if you don't want to be quite so real.
Sue, you want to sit there?
We'll even deal you in if you want.
Thanks. Let's play cards. What's the end?
So I thought that.
All right. There. Look at the map. All right. Let me
Here,
zoom in.
we're here.
Show us, Jim.
You're somewhere, I don't know. I haven't had a chance to look yet. Where are we?
Probably towards the top.
Why don't you lay it flat?
I was trying to show Uncle Rick.
Oh, he doesn't care.
Here, let's see if I can zoom in.
I just tore it. Sorry. I tore our map.
Ripping there, man.
I don't know. All right, let's see. Y'all done?
Line up on the
There's Williston, Wolf Point, Glasgow, so they're right up over there. Right before Glacier.
All right, we gotta fold this. Let's fold this up a little.
Oh, she doesn't do backward. I don't.
All right.
What?
She can't sit backwards.
Do you want me to sit there and you sit back?
You want to sit here? I'll sit over here.
No, that's all right. I'm fine here. I'm fine here. I'm fine here.
Where are we, Trevor?
Way, well, no, we just left Shelby.
Are they going to allow us to get the Indian reservation?
Are they going to allow us? We're not staying.
We're not stopping.
Passing through.
Anybody else for a map?
Where are we, Trevor?
We're
Is that different than?
right over there. Close, pretty close.
No.
Somewhere up here, maybe.
I prefer just one map. You know, because if you don't want one of these, you have it. Second, that was bad. Like this,
Okay, I'll keep this one because we're not down. Yeah, they do like it.
Yeah, I know. Huh?
Square
Brian?
miles.
No, he's just tired.
Oh, yeah. As you know, it's big sky country. Look out here and
Didn't work at all.
you know why the right is called big sky country. Montana, that's what the Spanish or Latin word meaning mountainous, but only about 1/3 of the state is mountainous. The western 1/3 that we're heading to now, and if not already, you should start to be able to glimpse some of the mountains of Glacier. We'll point them out as we get a little closer. No state has as many different species of mammals as Montana does. In fact, the elk, deer, the antelope outnumber the people here. There are 900, a little over 900,000 people in the state. While it is the 4th largest state in area, it is the 46th largest in population.
It's the 46th largest in population.
Very slightly towards the rear of the train, you see a set of hills. These hills are known as the sweetgrass hills. The one on this mountain on the left is just a couple feet under 7,000 feet, and the back slopes of that sweep out into Canada, so it's mostly on the south side of the U.S.-Canadian border. The middle mountain is 6,500 feet, and that's a couple miles this side of the border. And the one far right that has about 3 little humps on its top is almost, the tallest one is almost 7,000 feet again, and it's a few miles on this side of the Canadian border. There are ancient volcanic boils. I believe some of them might be, a couple of the pointy ones are probably cinder cones. By volcanic boil, I don't mean a volcano that exploded, but one where the lava oozed out of the ground. Glacier wind farm on our left-hand side. They said there's 140 odd number of wind turbines in this farm. If one of the blades was stopped at its very highest part, the top of the blade would be 388 feet from the ground. They're not small. The mast at its base is a little over 12 feet in diameter. The power that they produce, I believe, is mostly going to Canada right now. However, San Diego Power and Gas Company has rights to a portion of the electricity produced here. No, they don't ship the power to San Diego. They lose too much in transition. But San Diego, by having rights to some of the electricity, gets green power offsets for the electricity produced up here. I understand that they're going to put in 70, 80, maybe 100 more of these wind turbines in the next year or two. The farmers receive royalty for having them on their land based on the amount of power produced. Right now, because there's so much hydroelectric power in the Northwest due to a very wet winter, they don't run these turbines as much as they could. So what they do is remotely controlled by Chicago, or I've even heard as far as Pittsburgh, remotely controlled, they run them periodically so the royalties from the power are equally distributed among the various farmers who own the land that they stand on.
Good. Did you say you want more? What did you say?
I need chocolate.
Radio. They're controlled. You can feather the blades.
That's Grandma from her property in Ohio. It's big.
All right.
We're gonna try to get 2 more right now.
You can tell we're going up in elevation.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. It was volcanic lava stuff. Good for you. Early 1900s, 160, 320 acres in many cases. So at one time, there was a lot of small farms, semi-subsistence farms, meaning they did have a little, a few acres of cash crop, but they were also growing hay for working horses, and they had their pigs, chickens, and what have you, probably a dairy cow. Most of those subsistence or semi-subsistence farms are long gone, and now we're looking at wheat ranches that are anywhere from 2 to 10, 12,000 acres in size.
Wow.
And it doesn't take too many people to run these large wheat ranches simply because of modern
Wow, they just like all of a sudden popped up.
relative to the old days, and very automated and quite sophisticated. A combine would run you $300,000 to $400,000 one combine alone. So many of these farmers have well over $1 million worth of gear, not to mention land and buildings.
It's a lot of money. Yeah. It's a nice
Couple
house.
houses.
Yeah. That's a lot of land.
East side of the
But still, they have to have the good weather.
Well, this video is probably going to make everybody throw up.
Because you're moving so fast?
Well, no, because the train's moving so fast.
side, we can now pick up the Rocky Mountains quite clearly. On the left-hand side, the more rightly portion of those mountains are in Glacier Park, but way down more to the left, we're looking at the Bob Marshall Wilderness area, the most remote area remaining in the lower 48 states. The Bob Marshall Wilderness area, which is a vast tract of land, untouched by roads, buildings, and motorized vehicles. No motorized mechanisms in the wilderness. Very, very primitive. To find anything more primitive in the 48 states, you'd have to go up to the 49th or 50th state of Alaska.
My other favorite place.
We'll be picking up the mountains on the right-hand side of the train in a few minutes.
Come up here approximately 5 minutes, be arriving our next train. Stay up of Quebec, Montana. Quebec, Montana, your next stop is up here approximately 5 minutes.
about farming. How many of you notice those long, narrow strips? Some are planted with wheat, some are not. Raise your hand. There's a couple people paying attention to outside here. There are a bunch of long, narrow strips, and we're going to see more of them on the other side of Good Bank. Some are planted, and some have golden colored grain in them now. They're really starting to turn. Some are already starting to combine.
We should start over.
Why these long, narrow strips are running north and south? Simply because there's strong westerly winds. The long, narrow cropland will cut down on wind erosion of the soil. Also, it takes 2 years of moisture to grow a crop up here. So they need to leave the field fallow every other year, and that's why there's no crop. They need the water. Now, the last 2 years they've had a lot of water, and that hasn't really been a problem, but you'll still see these staggered fields. Cut down on wind, strong westerly winds, the erosion of the soil, and the water. A wide variety of types of wheat are grown up here depending on the conditions of the year and the type of land, including two basic kinds. One is winter wheat, that's planted in the fall, and most of the winter wheat is actually been cut now. Some is still standing. And then spring wheat, which is planted obviously in the spring, which comes on a little bit later in the summer. The crop this year of wheat in Montana, particularly this region, is quite rich. Some years it's such a drought condition up here that they do not have a very good crop. If you got 25 to 35 bushels in an average year, you were happy. This year on some of the winter wheat, I've heard upwards of 60 plus per acre, bushels per acre, and that is incredible for this country up here.
Oh, if you want a card, just buy it from somebody else, but then you have to pick an extra card to off the time. So if you really want to say something, we'll help you buy it.
Cute little station.
What's next to what this is called? This is it. Matt, did you go to, are you in what school are you? Oh, you are? Okay. Are you in college? Yeah. Where do you go? Oh. What kind of engineering?
Going over this Cut Bank bridge. This is 1,200 feet long. It'll be 160 feet above Cut Bank Creek down here. We'll talk a little more about Meriwether Lewis and his visiting reservation. This is the home of the Blackfeet Nation.
Because I played down, I can
nation of 3 tribes. There are about 15,000 members of the Blackfeet Nation, and about half of them live here in this area. Scholars believe that they migrated across the plains from the northern Great Lakes, settled here.
Blackfeet Reservation in Amtrak, you get to know a few of the people here. Many of their ancient cultural traditions are still very much alive, including sun dances. Off to the left, you may spot some Sundance areas. They're little round stick buildings. They're not really buildings. They're kind of, they're made out of sticks, and they'll have colored fabric hanging from them. Sweat lodges, powwows, horse racing, various kind of Indian-based gambling games that they play. And among the several experiences I've had with them over the years include an outsider like me will might be tested. I'm viewed as an outsider until you get to know the people, and in this particular case, 2 Blackfeet men riding up on a horse. In a town called Hartwood, about 30 miles southwest of the southern end of the reservation. And I immediately noticed that the horse coming towards me on the left was very frisky looking, very beautiful horse. The horse on the right was quite calm and very common looking. And after trying to find out where there was some good trout fishing, which those smart gentlemen did not tell me where to go fishing, I mentioned the beautiful horse on the left. The Blackfeet man swung off and said, "Would you like to ride this horse?" I said, "No, I don't want to ride your horse, even though it's quite beautiful, but I will get on your partner's horse." He swung off, I got on the horse.
So then you're
We
supposed to
rode
put
up
up
a
your
butte,
points,
which is a
but
kind of a
like
small
face cards
mountain.
or something, and yeah,
And
we're not.
as we were going up the mountain, the two of us, I asked him again about his horse. He said, "Yes, we just broke this horse off the beach. That horse would have detected my mediocre riding skills and made a tree ornament out of me quickly. I passed the cultural test. I knew which horse to get on and which horse not to get on. We had a wonderful 45, 55-minute ride up the Park Butte. Great conversation,
Where are you
and
staying?
we left.
Are you getting off on this east part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Staying at Glacier.
Oh, we went.
The division, which we're not there yet, are wild. Not Mustangs, but wild. After one generation without training, the horses are as wild as the Mustang. And many of these horses are generations and generations of propagation on the open range clan, and they're wild in every sense of the word. When I go to the post office in Park Butte, quite regularly I would have to chase a herd of wild horses out of the parking lot because they were munching on the lawn around the post office. The trained horses are often from these wild saddle horses, a few work horses to an extent. And when the Blackfeet men and women who are through riding, racing, herding cattle, hunting, fishing trips, what have you, when they're through riding their horse, they don't need it for a while. They just let it roam on the open range with the wild horses. They need it again, they go out and catch it, use it for whatever purpose, they turn it loose again on the open range. The horses don't seem to differentiate among themselves. On the right-hand side, there is some beach water in this area and also in some cases well. But if you look at the higher elevations all around this lower area, it's all going to be dry land farming. The amount of irrigated farming in this region is almost insignificant. And those irrigated or low areas with a lot of water is the only place you're going to find cattle. You need water for the cattle to drink, and you need water to grow and pasture.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was going to say, because I want to put it on there too, but I guess you can't. Right.
Wait, so after I do setting around,
Then you can weigh whatever, now you can weigh whatever. Yeah. Invited
So how much longer is it going to be for you traveling?
We're supposed to pull into Seattle at 10:25 tomorrow, but because we're a couple hours behind, it won't be until
The creek coming out of the cut bank over that high bridge. We mentioned Meriwether Lewis and the Lewis and Clark expedition.
He's not here right now.
About 4 to 5 miles north of here is a spot on the world known as Camp Disappointment, and it's related to Meriwether Lewis. And here's a short version of a long story. Captain Lewis and 4 or 5 of his men and a few Indian guides walked up Cutbank Creek to explore the region north of us to try to locate what would be the border between British held property and the newly owned U.S. property through the Louisiana Purchase document. President Jefferson told them, "Go west, young men, get to the Columbia River, collect specimens on the way, and come back alive." when you come back, try to catch an American square rigger at the mouth of the Columbia. A variety of foreign ships and American ships would periodically show up at the mouth of the Columbia. None did, so they had to walk back. President Jefferson said, if you have to walk back, send a small contingent up this way to determine where this border is located. The Louisiana Purchase document said basically that the most northerly tributary of the Missouri Marias River system would constitute the boundary between Britain and the U.S. So they walked up that creek, and then that would be the most northerly tributary of the Missouri Marias River system. But only 4 or 5 miles up, going north on that creek, it turned in a westerly direction. And that meant there was only 4 or 5 miles literally from where we are to where this creek was. The U.S. held territory. The goal was for that creek to go way up into what is now Canada, which would need a whole lot more land. So where the creek made its left-hand turn going up to the 45, they set up a camp. This appointment was late July, I think July 27, 1806. And they had some cloudy weather, had trouble getting celestial fixes. By the way, Liz and Clark were not
I must fall on that lady in the green shirt. She called me.
There he goes.
They got their celestial fixes, and then the next night on their way out, they camped overnight, and they noticed a small band of Blackfeet young men, actually teenage boys, young teenage boys, riding their horses. Lewis, being a diplomat, invited him to stay overnight in his camp around 1 or 1:30 at night. They started stealing rifles, which is customary, cultural thing at the time.
I mean, are they
Not a derogatory comment on my part. But anyway, a fight broke out, and a couple of young men, teenagers, were killed. They broke away from the fight to go get reinforcements for it, not the Indians, to come back and probably kill Lewis and his men. Lewis and his men do.
You guys got planned? Are you going to fight or what are you doing?
Very vigorous warriors. Mounted their ponies and rode some 30 miles an hour. Getting out of here with their lives intact. They did rejoin Captain Clark down on the Missouri River. They went home
Did you
safely.
to make reservations?
That was the only encounter with North American Indians that where they had a hostile contact. All the rest of them turned out to be either benign or friendly. That's a short version of a long story of camp disappointment, about a 4 to 5 mile story for this.
Following for a while now. In fact, the Empire Builder has followed U.S. Route 2 out here ever since Minnesota. And this will pretty much parallel the tracks all the way to Everett, Washington, which is just north of Seattle. Highway 2 starts back at the bridge. Basically hugs the northern tier of the United States all the way across the country.
Wild horses up on the
Okay, up on your right side, way up to the north there, is that mountain on the far right is Chief Mountain. That is sacred, has sacred significance to the American natives. And also, that is right up by the Canadian border. It just shows how close we are to Canada.
You're just, in one case, you're defining your passport.
I'm sorry, the far right mountain of that entire range up there.
He's right there.
Very much forward.
785.
You'll see a
She's
very
like,
low light
we have to be down there. Move, come on, hurry up. Gotta get out
As
there.
dry as fast, a very low flat area, and we'll be going through that area as we cross over the Continental Divide.
Just wanted to listen.
It's very much forward in the train.
You gotta be ready.
Left side forward. It's quite obvious to me that there's a low, very low dip in the mountain range. That's where it's at. Lewis and Clark would have loved to have used that pass, but for whatever reason they did miss it. They tried to cross the better routes. They would have died in the better routes if it had not been for the Shoshone, Sacagawea. I understand it's better pronounced Sacagawea. Eastern newspaper meant for a J in the word instead of a G. At any rate, the Shoshone tribe was very suspicious of Lewis and Clark and their party, but the chief of the Shoshone recognized Sacagawea as his sister who had been stolen from the tribe. And out from that relationship, the Shoshone helped them get across the bitter routes in the late fall in really winter weather. Every probability that Lewis and Clark would have not have made it across the bitter routes alive. They were running out of food in heavy winter, but they had a helping hand in the Shoshone.
Trains coming down on the mountains there.
It's like an angel.
There are some beaches on the lake. Put your toe in it. They might enjoy it. No, different areas of the park. There's 1,000 signs, 10,000 brochures, and rangers to help you. If you go to a ranger and say, I'd like a little 500-yard nature walk somewhere.
Can you get a picture of that where you're at?
Over there?
Yeah, the Zoom is that little toggle flash.
Start.
Off to your left there is one of the Sundance lodges of the Blackfeet Indian tribe. There are two of them out there. These are ceremonial places where they worship.
Didn't get it?
Got the Berman there. Just barely.
Side there is Browning, Montana. This is the tribal headquarters of the Blackfeet Nation. This is their center of government. There's also a famous museum there, the Museum of the Plains Indians, and if you ever get a chance, it's certainly worth a visit.
Oh, really?
We are now at an elevation of approximately 4,600 feet. Back there at Cutbank, we were at 3,800, so we are continuing our gradual ascent up to Marias Pass, which will be at an altitude of 5,200 feet. These were built specifically to protect the trains from the high winds that this area experiences.
Stop it right now.
high wind can blow.
They block the winds, not entirely, but they sure do like deflect the winds taking the trains off the track.
No.
Because they have these now.
This area is known for winds up to 60 to 100 miles per hour, so you can see why those fences come in handy.
Oh, hang on, I get the mountains over here.
Oh, okay.
Like how?
There.
Look at a picture of you.
That's Browning, the headquarters city of the Blackfeet Reservation.
Wait now.
Is it a...
10 years ago, 2,000 people.
Now we're gonna get a
US, the tribe has 50,000 registered, about 7,000 live on the reservation. So,
Do you have to be like the Okay. Anybody else there?
no,
See the mountains though.
I've stayed there.
It's all whitewashed.
I've stayed there. I've
We'll
also
try again.
danced at Powerhouse.
We'll try again.
Okay. Are you part Native American?
No.
Or no, you just go there for entertainment? Do they have like doctors? Is there a hospital there?
There are clinics and what have you, yes, they have medical facilities. Not necessarily super high end, I mean, they're not going to be open heart surgery or something.
Oh, okay, but
But they do have basic
medical care.
Which we're getting close to now, and I know many of you will be getting off to spend some time there. Glacier National Park was the 10th national park established by Congress back in 1910. It has about 1,800 square miles to it, which again makes it larger than the state of Rhode Island at 1,200 square miles. There are 175 main mountains in the park. 6 of them are over 10,000 feet. Highest is Mount Cleveland at about 10,500 feet.
Cool. Look what you find out.
Down in the gully there is several teepees. This is actually a location run by the Blackfeet Indians who get to go and rent a teepee and stay overnight there.
Oh, there they are.
There are 2 or 3 of those establishments in the area.
They're really far, they're the white ones.
I forgot where I left.
Just focus on the glass.
You have 10?
Senior Park is currently at 25. And actually over the last year, most of these glaciers have added mass because of the heavy snowfall this past winter. But, you know, 1 year of heavy snowfall does not slow the trend of the diminishing glaciers in the park. This has been a good year. The 2011 snowfall was 180% above normal.
So no math.
180% above normal, did he say? That's snowfall for this 2011 year.
The going to the Sun Road, which I'm sure many of you will be traveling on when you're in Glacier in the next few days, was actually closed until the middle of July because of the heavy snowfall. There were about 70 or 37 avalanche paths that had to be must be maintained on that road and cleared after each winter. Going to the Sun Road usually opens by mid-June or so, but this was definitely an unusual year.
You're getting quite a bit of snow on a typical winter. When you get in the Sierras and Cascades, now we're really talking about snow. At 4,000 feet in the state of Washington, 11 years ago, they had 95 feet of snow. Fortunately, I did not have a driveway there, but 95 feet of snow is a heck of a lot of snow.
Where did you stay when you were in Hawaii? Wow. Do they have a house for you?
Yeah, we stayed at the dorm.
Oh.
systems in
Okay,
the
now what do
world
we have?
where all of the original predators and prey continued to coexist into this century.
Yeah.
Within the park, you're going to find wolves, black bear, grizzly bears, cougars, moose, Rocky Mountain goats, bighorn sheep, Rocky Mountain elk, mule deer, among a number of smaller animal species and fish. There's also more than 260 different species of birds that call Glacier home. A lot of people want to know about the bears. There are, as I said, 2 different bears and the types of bears in the park. The black bears, they estimate there are about 600. Black bears they're common, but also remember they are not always black. Their coats can be brown, blonde, or cinnamon colored. But also, beware, they can run up to 30 miles per hour.
What are you? I was looking at it. If you're
Grizzly bears,
I can run that fast.
They're found at the higher elevations of the park primarily. They estimate there's about 360 grizzlies in the park. These are the largest land predators in North America. They may give, they may look slow and lumbering, but they also are very, very quick.
Run.
Let's get the jitterbugs. Are you Mr. Jitterbug?
Do you want me to just stick it up? Am I on your way? Yeah? Okay.
Sometimes I've asked, how do you respond to the bears? Well, obviously very carefully. I don't mean that as a joke either. Quite often it's a good idea to carry bear spray if you're in an area that you haven't checked with the ranger. The rangers generally know where there are bear problems. But if you're really in the backcountry, carry some bear spray. Wear bear bells on you so they jingle a little bit. Make some noise if you're in a party of more than one, or even whistle if you're by yourself. Bears generally are going to want to avoid you, and if they can hear you, they generally will scamper away. There's a few exceptions to that. And if you were to encounter a bear on a trail, do not run. They love a moving target. And so just very carefully back away, raise your hands in the air, make yourself look as big as you could possibly look, and slowly back away from them. But running is definitely the worst thing you could probably do.
But I'm sorry, what's my instinct?
And that's like your instinct. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Also, regarding wolves in the park, the wolf packs in the park have been growing. In fact, in Idaho, other parts of Montana, Yellowstone, many of the mountain areas of Montana, Idaho, and now the state of Washington, the wolves are growing in abundance. In fact, they now have a limited hunting season on wolves in the state of Idaho. There are so many of them around. In the state of Washington, they're more of a recent migration into the state from Idaho and Canada, but they now claim that there are 6 wolf packs in the state of Washington, and they're increasing in number. So the wolves are doing quite well in the Northwest. They are important to the ecosystem in that, as an example, down at Yellowstone, they noticed that the banks of the rivers in Yellowstone Park were deteriorating because of elk were eating all the willows along the banks of the river. Well, when they reintroduced the wolves scampered the elk away from the riverbanks. The willows had a chance to grow. Now the riverbanks are restored, all as a result of a top-end predator being reintroduced. There are other sides to the issues of the farmers, cattle in particular, people with sheep,
had some very strong negative issues in regard to the wolves. In the state of Idaho, the various factions regarding wolves have been able to come together and come up with a mutually agreed upon set of policies in terms of management of the wolves. But it took them an awful long time to work towards a set of compromise that everybody could live with.
You can go to the door and come back.
I'm not that.
No, we're not gonna push the button. Yeah, just have to tell them no and then they go to you.
Yeah, see, when you're the bad guy, then I can be the good guy.
Since Daddy's not here. You want to go back? Your juice is back at the seat. You're going to have a vacation. You're doing a really great job right now. I'm very proud of you. You want to what? You want to see? See what? Oh, you want to go to the seat? We're going to go to the seat right now. We're going to go find the lounge. This is sure.
Starbucks?
What?
I don't know.
Starbucks?
Starbucks? Starbucks? Something bucks.
Well,
Would you like the Starburst candy?
One of these?
Say thank you.
No, you can pick which one, what color you like.
Trevor, say thank you.
You're welcome.
Say it. You like me?
Mrs. Trump will be downstairs at the door with her bags.
well, I should probably.
All right, yes, let her go. Yes, let her go. Go, Rico.
Don't make me.
I'm teasing.
Wow, that was very nice of them
We're
to
almost there
share.
anyway.
Should we just go?
Yeah.
No, you guys don't have to go. She's not your wife.
Oh, sorry about that. You can stay.
No, stay. I don't care.